notice my background, which is Rise from the Ashes Maui Retreat 2025. We get so caught up in the online space these days, don't we? And one thing with spirituality that I think is paramount more than ever is in-person connections. It's great to consume spiritual content online. It's another thing to meet with like-minded souls together, to activate, to be in the same energy, in the same space. And that's why I think that we all need to, from time to time, get together with like-minded people. That is why I've been feeling for months now to be drawn to somewhere where I could create an in-person event. When I was traveling earlier in the year, the message was given to me that one place that needed healing, one place that needed to rise from the ashes was the Hawaiian island Maui. Most of you will know what happened there. A fire that ravaged the area, a very popular area there in Maui, and affected a lot of people. The island has not returned fully to even a remnants of the way it was before. And I felt a really strong call to bring people back to the island to help the rebuilding effort. Often when these news stories happen, they blow up heavily in the media and then we forget about them, we forget about those people. And so there are many places in the world that you could do a retreat. There are so many places here in Australia that would be perfect. Places like Bali, other places around the world. I felt called to Maui because I wanted to help the people there on the ground with the rebuilding effort. You know, tourism is down there. And the other thing that became evident to me along this journey is that there's something special about this island. And I was doing some research and found out that there are specific ley lines there. And we're coming into a very different season. Who recognizes that we're at the precipice right now of new beginnings? Hello, Andy, who's joined there. Let me talk to that for a moment, the times that we are in at the moment. Like myself, many of us have been going through what I have defined before as a breakdown stage. And let me preface to you what that means. That is when everything in your experience seemingly seems to be breaking down, falling apart. Perhaps all of your plans and aspirations and desires have not gone the way you hoped that they would go. Where it seems that everything in your life is falling apart. Now, the first thought we have is that we're on the wrong path. We're going in the wrong direction because the evidence that is showing up as the breakdown would indicate that that is the case. However, what is going on at a higher level is a redirection, a recalculation, that you are being shifted out of an old paradigm into a new one. Now, in order for that to happen, often it's illogical to our analytical mind, and therefore what we do is we wouldn't necessarily pick these circumstances and events and this path because it's more challenging. What our analytical mind does naturally is it picks the easiest path. And so logically, we never pick the most challenging path. We pick the easiest one. This is the human conditioning. We've been a lot of ways forced into a different direction. And I think the last 4 years have shown us that we have gone through a lot of challenges. We've been exposed to a lot of, let's say, negativity, truths that perhaps we have shied away from, obviously, at the world, in the world rather at large, or in our own lives. Shadow aspects that perhaps we have not wanted to face have come up for us in a way that we cannot ignore. And therefore we're forced to make a choice to move into a different direction. I think that's what's been going on for a lot of us over the last 3 or 4 years particularly, and it's exacerbated even in the last 6 months. What I believe what we're stepping into now is a whole new season, arising from the ashes, if you like, where we've broken down, we've gone through a suffering event, we've gone through the challenges, and now we're ready to re-emerge into the new. We're ready to rise up. Who's resonating with this? You're either watching this live or on the replay. Who is resonating with this breakdown that we've gone through? This is the reason that I'm calling people to the island of Maui for a retreat. Now, it will be probably an intimate group of people, which I think is great, because the less people, the more intimate it can be. But we'll be doing this over 2 days, a Saturday and a Sunday. And here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some sacred work of letting go. Letting go of all of the old patterns, the old beliefs, the belief structures, the old energy that has held us back for perhaps lifetimes. And I say lifetimes because one of the elements of this retreat will be a Dolores Cannon past life and a future life regression. A lot of our patterns, a lot of our habits come from different incarnations. Now, how do I know this? I've been doing past life regression, specifically Dolores Cannon's quantum healing hypnosis technique, for many years now. And time again, with those that I work with, these countless people, is that they find that the blocks, fears, certain phobias, certain limitations, they cannot pinpoint them here in this life. When they do regression work, often they go back to a life where they discover where that block, where that hindrance came from. So a part of our retreat will be going back to a past life where, if there are certain blocks, fears, phobias, limitations, things that are holding you back, we'll go back to those events through the regression that Dolores Cannon designed, and we'll be having an opportunity to let go and to release it. Now, often we don't understand this consciously. The great thing about Dolores Cannon's regression work is you don't need to understand it at an analytical or conscious level, because we're working with the subconscious. this is where all of this stuff gets lodged and trapped over lifetimes. So one great aspect of our retreat will be doing the Dolores Cannon past life and future life regression. But not only will we be releasing in this wonderful weekend in Maui, we'll be rejuvenating. We'll be accessing future aspects of ourselves and discovering what our specific soul's purpose is. You might say, well, how do you tap into something that isn't happened yet? And this gets into an incredible way of understanding that Dolores Cannon taught us, is that how all of reality works. We don't live in a linear reality. We live in a quantum reality. One that every aspect of existence is coexisting at the same time. What we think of as a past life or a future life isn't in the past or in the future, it's in the eternal now. Almost as if it is layered upon one another. And this gets into quantum physics, quantum mechanics, where it explains that time is a mere construct of the human mind and that it's a way of navigating our life experience. However, at a more real level, all time is existing in the eternal now. This is why you can go back, and I'm using language to help you understand, but go back to work on past traumas in a regression, which brings the healing into the now. You can also heal future aspects or bring in future aspects into your now, because we work in the quantum field. That's why it's called quantum healing hypnosis. Quantum mechanics, quantum physics tells us a lot about this area, and it is emerging and being more readily accepted. Hello, Kelly, who has just joined there, by the way. Do we have any questions at this point around the Maui retreat? And some of you are going to be watching this on the replay, and so I invite you to add those questions to the comment section, which will be on the replay video here on YouTube. Who's a follower of Dolores Cannon's work? Who has read any of her books that talk about the quantum field, that talk about quantum physics? Specifically, the Convoluted Universe series goes into a lot of detail on how this works. Goes into a lot of detail on specific regression sessions that people have undergone, where they've gone back to a past life or they've visited a future life to gain information. To not only gain information, but to also gain healing and perhaps letting go of patterns, issues, traumas that have held them stagnated into a certain paradigm or belief system. I'm just reading the comments now. Someone has said, I'm a newbie. I've been subscribed for a while and but I haven't done a deep dive. Well, here's an invitation to you. I don't know if you're based in North America, but from what I can see analytically from the analytics of YouTube, is most of you, 70%, are located in the United States. It's probably another reason why I decided to do a retreat there in the United States. It makes it easier for people to get to Maui. You're not only helping, I think, your own journey, you're helping the people of Maui to rebuild, because any tourism that is going to happen is great for the local economy. And I'm a great student of Wayne Dyer. And Wayne Dyer lived during the last at least 10 years of his life on the island of Maui. He loved the island. He recognized how sacred and powerful the energy is there. Some of you have seen an interview that I did with two of his daughters about this time last year. And what they did was, when the fire happened, they put together a fund, and they raised over $1 million to help the rebuilding effort. It was great to be interviewing them and talking about the rebuilding, but what I wanted to do is actually do something there, help tourism, bring people back. And not only will I be doing this in January, I'm committing to doing this annually as an annual conference there in Maui. And that's where I need your help, because I want you to partner with me to be a part of this. Perhaps you're in Maui and you can't attend the conference because of maybe financial reasons, but you want to volunteer. We're going to have opportunities for people to volunteer and to just partner with us and to help this dream come alive. Because not only are we planning on one event, we're planning on an annual event. We want to make this a place where people can come, where they can heal, where we can help the community heal, and we can begin something really special and new. Let me go back to the comments, keep reading. Kelly has said, haven't read the books, but have seen some of the videos. So there's a lot of Dolores Cannon content on this channel and on the official Dolores Cannon YouTube channel. And all of her books go into great detail of how some of these sessions go and what some people get out of a session. Probably the most powerful aspect of anyone having a past life, and when I speak to strangers, people say, well, what do people get out of having a past life regression? Number one is healing. Sure, curiosity plays its part. We're curious. Certainly if we believe in the concept of reincarnation, who we were and what we were doing. But more importantly, it's healing from the past to free us more in the present. And that is what Dolores Cannon focused on, specifically why she taught the method and named it quantum healing hypnosis technique, because it's more about healing than curiosity. Curiosity plays its part, but healing is the main reason that we do this. A main aspect of why I'm doing this retreat in Maui and calling people there, not only local people, but people from all over North America. People are coming here from Australia as well, and other parts of the world, is that we're going to heal together. We're going to heal the past so that we're free to actualize and step into what our soul's purpose is. Dolores Cannon said that the main question people would want answered during any session she conducted with individuals is they wanted to learn what their specific soul's purpose is or was. She called this the universal question. She called it that because that was universally what people were asking. What am I meant to be doing? What am I meant to contribute? Particularly during these times of awakening, these times of change, these times of ascension where our world is going through a great metamorphosis. Specifically, what is our part? If that is a question that you have, that you haven't discovered, Maui would be a perfect place to come and to discover for yourself what your part is. I'm reading the comments again, so let's just bear with me as I read them. I saw her video about Earth being one of the most difficult journeys. Earth is definitely hard. You're right, Kelly. I think it is. And forgive me if I got your name wrong. Earth is one of the most challenging dimensions to be in because, as it's been defined, it's a school for the soul to grow, to learn, to expand. One of the reasons it's so challenging here is that we forget. We have a state of amnesia when we come in. Well, most of us do. We forget our soul's purpose. We forget our past lives. We forget our contracts. We forget why we're here. And what essentially awakening is all about, it's remembering. It's discovering that we're not just these meat suits having this human experience, that we are really a soul that is expressing and living through a physical human body. An awakening has become such a phenomenon now that even it's entering the mainstream, this idea of awakening. And although it goes back to many ancient wisdom traditions, Hinduism, Buddhism, even aspects of Christianity and the Sufis in Islam understand the concept of waking up, awakening. It's becoming more and more commonly experienced. Even in my life, apart from the work I do, I'm seeing it with networks of people in my immediate environment, people just waking up, having experiences. It might be seeing a YouTube video, it might be doing some kind of healing work or therapy work, or going through some kind of trauma where through the traumatic response, the shell of your existence is cracked open and you're forced to face yourself. Through that act, it wakes you up. It causes you to question, it causes you to go within and to seek. And who knows that expression, that saying, when you seek, you shall find. I'm reading some more of the questions, so bear with me. Positive love, chaos, no, it's family from UK. It's family, I'm from the UK, raised Christian, I'm listening. Perhaps you can help me understand better your comment, but I was also raised a Christian, a conservative Christian, which I'm glad I was, actually. It's an experience that I chose to do and have, because what it taught me is a lot about the divine. Although I don't go to a church like I used to year upon year, I have a much more expanded understanding and awareness of the divine than I ever had before. So I love my Christian heritage. And I don't think we should dismiss any of the wisdom traditions. Really, they all point to what I'm talking about. Actually, in Christian terms, they talk about it as the second coming of Christ, or Christ consciousness. And we are in those times right now. So I understand more of what I was taught in my Christian tradition more than ever. But let's not deviate from what I am discussing today, and that is Maui, this retreat. Who is feeling called? Let me know, even in the replay, if you're feeling called to do this sacred work, where you're actually coming together, doing some regression work, visiting the past, healing from the past, and perhaps understanding and discovering what your soul's purpose is. I invite you to Maui. Under the YouTube headline on YouTube, you'll find my links. The first link on there will be a link so that you can register for this event. Now, we have an early bird special. It's half price. If you register in the next week, you get it half price. Then after you register, you'll get a series of emails on how to organize accommodation. We've got people on the ground that will organize any level of accommodation you need, from something very basic to something very luxurious. We'll be with you every step of the way in helping you organize this, getting to Maui. We've got people on the ground there that are committed to partnering and helping with you. If you want to register and get the early bird special, please visit my link here bio on YouTube. You'll find it on my homepage. If you've got any more questions, or if you're watching the replay, I'll check the comments. And I can't wait to talk about this more, what we'll be specifically exploring and doing. You'll hear a lot more about it. But if you do want to get the early bird special, do that this week before it doubles in price. And I hope to see you all in Maui.